Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Unpredicted Party, the only Middle-earth TTRPG that will finally answer the question, why didn't they just take the Eagles to Mordor? And we are potentially on our last step of this journey as the players, Halloweth, Tinel, Tauriel, and Beery, have made their way into Mordor after braving the assault at Gondor, the betrayal of Rhaval, the abandoning of basically everybody. Gorge has gone to safety to ensure that the Grimlings are going to make it back safely. Rhaval has taken Havari on one of the horses and has fled to safety. Everybody is gone. And yet, hope remains as the four of you make your way closer to Mordor on a mission no one really asked you to do. You just kind of realized you would never have another chance like this. But we have a few people to thank before we get into all of that. So a couple of thanks to our sponsor, The Rook and the Raven. For all of your TTRPG note-taking needs, you can go to therookandtheraven.com. A special thanks to the TTRPG system we are using with a little bit of homebrew. That is the One Ring from Free League Publishing. I'm so out of order right now just because I'm all out of sorts on our potential finale. That's the beauty of these. You don't know if it's going to be the finale. Special thanks to Sara Shunke. She goes by @Sarahmschunke on Instagram for the artwork. The battle maps are done by Little Wit the cartographer. The music is done by Cullen, Vance. The organization of this chaos is done by my wife. She goes by Nat20Wife. Also, go to cullenvancecreative.com to stream all of it, or stream all of his music elsewhere, but give the man money. All right. With all of that successfully out of the way, I'm going to play the theme song normally this time, just to lull chat into a false sense of security. So if you can picture with me, dum 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 dum. When last we left off, you were just a couple of miles away from Mordor. I will ask you all, as you sit in this sort of prison-like structure, having freed Grimbjorn's children, having seen Gorge go off on his own, having Beery learn the nature of a betrayal from Meldoon, the dwarf that kind of gave him up a little bit in Minas Tirith and called him out. What do you do from here? And I leave it to all of you.
I want to ask first, is there like a stash where there's like a bunch of health potions, ammo, there's a save point clearly, like going into this thing, like the campfire? I played enough like Dark Souls games to know that this is like
battle.
Yeah, this is like, you know where we start, right?
Where do we respawn?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here, go ahead and make me, I will allow you.
Halls of Mandos.
If you, so here's what I will say. If you would like, you can make me either an explore check or a scan check. You can also allow anybody else to help you. You will have to cumulatively beat 9. Hang on, let's do 5d6. 5, 10, 15, 20, 26. You have to beat a 32 between two of you.
Hey, Beery.
Tinel is also...
You know, I'm feeling a little tired.
Beery.
Who else has really good... anyone else,
How
like,
is
particularly
your
looking?
scan?
Well, you can all roll. If you take if you take 4, I'll remove the highest and the lowest as I usually do, and you'll yeah.
I'm gonna scan.
Beery takes
so
a
hard.
gander.
Yeah, what do we got?
Oh,
No, Tori.
Come
Is it
on,
an Eye of
man.
Sauron?
Bad start.
Yeah.
Okay.
It sure is.
crap.
Okay.
That's our lowest.
Okay.
It's our lowest.
Yeah, mine ain't great though. I got 11.
11.
I got
20.
What's that number? That's a
Oh,
15.
come on, ancient elves.
15 with a 6.
A 15 with a 6
I
plus
got an 11 with a 6. But
an 11. Okay, so a 15 plus an 11
25.
is 25. With a
So
25, trying to be...
It's a 26.
We're
15,
sorry,
right?
26, right? Yes, plus the extra degrees of success. I'll bump that up to a 28. You're close enough, Halloweth. What I'm going to say is you discover orc moonshine, as best as you can describe it. It's in one of those broom cupboards that's just been sitting there for a while, and you're like,
That's not a buff.
that might heal you. You might your mouth is so parched. You're like, I need.
Don't do it, man.
I need something. Do you drink it?
No,
That way lies hepatitis.
I'm gonna roll a check. I'm gonna roll a check based on let's say I'm gonna roll
The dice are deciding this, my
insight
friend. Okay.
or awareness. I'll do an awareness, like self-awareness. Am I in a state which I would be able to resist this? Am I in a way that gonna be like, no, I don't want to drink this.
Okay.
And we will see. We will see what I get. I should be okay. Yeah. Okay. I resist quite easily and say, no, you're better than this, Halloweth. Don't drink what is just in front of you. You are of higher quality than that. So he's
Hey, Hal,
gonna
what'd you
say
find?
no.
Oh no.
What's that?
This berry appears to be some rather questionable substance, which can be abused by you or used effectively by the orcs. I would highly recommend not ingesting any of it, considering what we have ahead of us. However tempting it may be.
Kind of grabs his hand. It's holding the probably a wineskin or something like that. It's in.
Yeah, just a gross leaking wineskin. Yep.
Yeah, it just kind of gives it a sniff. Like, is it like probably burns his nostril hairs? He just, whoa. Honestly, that could actually be quite useful. Maybe not for drinking, celebratory.
True.
If in a pinch, But we gotta take it.
Yeah, true. If that catches any whiff of a spark, and we are in a fiery pit of a place,
see,
this
You're
could
already
be-
ahead of me.
If I've cornered myself into giving you something flammable by
You've
mistake,
just given us a Molotov, Don.
Yeah, you have. That is exactly what I thought.
Against, by the way, a nest
Perfect.
typically
Yeah.
made of.
I said,
Yeah.
the final plan is just arson.
Just
If all
This is the
else fails,
first step.
arson.
This is the first step in becoming arsonists, and that's what they'll call us. There's no Fellowship of the Ring. We're the arsonists of the ring.
Yeah, so about that. So you guys can be working with your paint thinner over there. I believe the last thing that was pointed out to us in the last game was that we beheld the top curve of this dragon egg
Yes.
poking out of the top of its nest.
yes.
Tariel she's still pretty interested in that.
Mm-hmm. Sorry, I
Mostly-
should clarify. We're sort of doing a little flashback for this Molotov as Zach tried to get some healing potions. You have since
Okay.
made your way to a more
Yeah, you were on
hospitable
horseback.
area, but yes, you're going to
Okay,
be on
good.
horseback. Yes.
Okay.
As yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Also, Beery has actually, in fact, does have 2 shadow points. I didn't put it in the right
Nope,
spot.
that's
I see
okay.
the note now.
That's okay.
Just wanted to
Speaking
make
of,
sure we're playing fair.
I
Yeah,
appreciate
remember.
it.
I was gonna say, I remember you having some. 'cause
That's
it was
totally
very
okay.
upsetting when you acquired those.
Speaking
Yeah.
of putting things in the wrong place, I do apologize. Tori and Zach, you have been in the incorrect slots in our little overlay for the last 15 minutes. So my apologies to live chat and apologies to my mods, who I assume have already messaged me saying
This is going to be all Chad is saying for at least 5 minutes. So
Yeah.
it's fine. It's only
We gotta
been
give him
3.
something to talk about, right?
Yeah.
I don't know what they're talking about. It was perfect from the start.
Yeah.
It's so weird.
I'm going to make one more healing check before I go in a more desperate.
Make your
attempt
healing check.
to-
I
to
would
do
I would
this.
say,
He's just
Zach, just in terms of like doing a healing check per day, unless you want to dedicate a lot of time to it, we'll do this one and then one remaining one for the rest of your journey. Otherwise, it would take a specific amount of time and you'd need a higher roll.
Yeah, I mean, I'm assuming I'm kind of running out of supplies that
You
I've
are.
taken from,
Yes.
like, yeah, exactly.
Yes.
So let's give it a go. Okay.
Help? Can I help?
Uh,
Can I give him a help action?
yeah,
I do beat my target number. It's okay. I mean, if you want to help, like,
yeah,
boost
roll-
my
sterile
like D6 that I
Stuff now.
rolled.
yeah, roll.
We have isopropyl alcohol now.
Sure.
I don't
Yeah.
really want to put that in my wound.
Oh, come on.
Uh,
Where's your adventurous spirit?
Well, no, not so much adventurous. I just don't know what I'll see. I don't really want to be hallucinating or anything like that while I'm fighting a giant. That's gonna be enough of a like feeling of hallucination. Like, is everyone else seeing this? I'm gonna just try and heal up, please. I beg of you.
Right.
Oh, come on.
Beery, go ahead and make another medicine check. Did you fail?
No, I succeeded in the check, and I was like, excellent, get to heal up.
Then
1.
again.
Yeah.
I was afraid it was a 1.
Do I just give him like a D6?
You know what? If you succeed in your medicine check, I will allow you to add your own D6 to this.
I don't have
wow.
any dots in healing.
I
Do
know.
I just roll a D12 and just see what happens?
Just see what happens.
So I have to Gandalf.
Technically, yes. Yes.
Hey,
Yeah, we're immortal.
crazier
That
things have
makes
happened,
sense.
baby. Come on.
True.
It's a 2.
Okay.
Oh, no, it's okay.
All right.
1.
Zach,
Oh, you
you
gotta
may.
use this.
Oh no! Okay. You know what? I feel great. I feel fantastic. Thank you, Barry. That's really. Oh, you helped so much.
Look,
I love that.
sterile
Oh,
now.
healing hands from a dwarf. Okay.
You've got a small bruise on your arm just for no particular reason other than Beery
Oh,
was
good.
clumsy. As the players
Come here, hold still.
continue to keep stalling in their confrontation from Gwai here, I'm going to ask
We're doing our best.
that you all begin to make your checks. You have, by last count, 2 horses remaining. Please, 2 of you who are, as you would agree, between the 4 of you, sort of leading the horses, make travel checks for me, please. But you are going to be doing so with ill favor.
I feel like Barry's in front of me. Sounds like Legolas Gimli style.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Beery is also our most convincing looking orc, probably.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
well, in the
Size and
stuff that we have.
stature.
All right.
Yeah.
The rest of us are covered in
Okay.
mud and pieced together stuff.
Is a
So I'm
travel check
rolling
just a
travel.
straight
So
straight D12, right?
two of you are going to roll travel checks. The other 2 are going to roll scan checks to potentially help. So
Oh, that works actually.
yeah.
My
So
scan sucks.
Beery, you'd make a scan, and then whoever's horse you're on, and then same deal with the other 2. It is up to you to decide.
My
you
travel check was 11.
Okay.
Out
You
of
don't
tw-
want
out
me
of
making a
12.
travel check.
Yeah, I'm favored in travel, so I'll do it.
Okay, I'll do scan.
19 for scan.
19 for scan. Okay.
20 for travel, and there is a 6 in there.
20 for travel, and there is a 6.
Oh wait, travel's the one I don't have a thing in. I thought that was the straight like D12s that we were just rolling.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I believe you did travel roll, right? I'll cut this part.
I had travel. I thought travel rolls were just like there was no travel. And I
For-
was just
for
rolling,
you,
we
there
just rolled like a
was.
straight D12.
Yeah, for you
Oh.
there was. And what'd you get?
11 out of 12. which is
11 out of
nice.
12. No, that's fine. So I will take, hang on, let me split the difference. Either way, it's enough to get you there. So, okay. This is going to be. Sorry, just making sure I dot all my I's and cross all my T's. Which is great because I was using the word edits, so it has an I and a T. So, you guys find the road, and it's surprisingly well paved in a way you weren't really expecting. And as you get closer, things start to slow down in terms of your movement speed because there are animals all around you. Some you barely even recognize, beasts that should be in water that are not. You see something that is almost the equivalent of like a crocodile with a snake as its tail of sorts. You see a number of like upright badgers that are walking bipedal style. You see just any number of flies and moths and winged creatures all just sort of like circling above you, but with no real coherence. Everyone just sort of seems to be gravitating towards the nest. With a successful travel check to beat the distance that you need to travel, I leave it to all of you to tell me how you approach this last portion of the journey. How many miles do you stop away from the nest, if any? Do you let the horses go? Are you approaching what seems to be the large group of creatures up ahead? Are you trying to skirt around to the side? The options are endless. I will remind you, Mount Doom is to your west, dead ahead is the nest, and then to your east are the ruined remains of Sauron's Tower of Barad-dûr.
Do any of these creatures seem to be noticing our horses or anything? Because our horses, they're not giving fell.
No, the horses themselves are not giving fell, but given that you are all dressed up like orcs, you would get the notice of various creatures, but I don't think you would have anything more to do unless I make you make a stealth check against a more capable creature based on your actions.
Okay. And so if we're not right up on the nest yet, but we can see the dragon egg from where we are. I mean, how roughly how close are we to it? And could you again describe how big this thing is, the nest?
So the nest is the size of a football field. It
Right.
is
Okay.
huge. Within it are any number of trees whose roots and branches have been intertwined together to form the base of this structure in a way that looks as though you are kind of supporting it, but it is still capable of moving. You, from the distance, how far out you are, you can see that the Huorns have taken to literally lifting their branches and their roots up and moving almost like a conveyor belt or like a tank, where they're just inching along where the roots come out of the ground, poof, back down into the ground, again lifting up and down, but it's a snail's pace. They are crawling, and it is a slow movement.
Could you explain to me exactly the difference between what I would know of the difference in feeling between the Ents and the Huorns?
Oh, yes.
To
So this
Guahir in particular.
This is something that you would know. I don't need to have you make a check or anything. So Huorns and Ents are somewhat different. Huorns can be trees that have sort of given up their sentience, the way Treebeard is. Treebeard is a quite literal shepherd of the forest. Huorns are more like the older ones that have sort of gone into a deep slumber or don't have eyes. One of the, like, Treebeard has eyes. Treebeard's a guardian. These ones do not have eyes. They're a little bit like
Old
almost
Man Willow kind of.
yeah, more like a worker ants and a queen bee style. There's clearly, the two Ents that you saw off in the distance that are now quite close, are sort of guiding these trees towards Mount Doom.
Okay. I think I just got an idea.
Yeah,
Oh,
we
Oh,
also
go ahead.
have the Palantir. I feel as though we should use it. We are so close. And this is so massive. I don't know what we're going to do when we get there.
figure it out. We always have.
Will we not draw undue attention to ourselves?
We are masters of disguise.
We are not masters of the Palantir.
Correct. It is a risk, and that is why I don't want to wait until we are standing in front of Guahir to touch it, because I feel as though it could aid us, but it is going to, I think, certainly speed things along.
I agree. It seems insane, but I don't know what we're going, because Guahir isn't here. We can't see him, right?
You do not know.
No. So, do we want to? Okay. Do we want to try and do something quietly? First of all, do we want to try and do something with the dragon's egg before he gets here? Because once we activate the Palantir, I guarantee he's gonna come flying.
Yeah.
Yes.
Tariel is still, from as far away as she is, still trying to scope out that nest situation. Can you tell me, are there creatures? I know there are Huorns and Ents, but are there other creatures climbing in and around the nest?
Yeah,
Is it being swarmed?
what you see, a majority of these sort of creatures, the larger ones, the cave trolls, the beasts of Gorgoroth, they're helping to push or they're helping to pull, but they're pulling on what look to be like tree branch ropes, where they're literally grabbing a piece of the Huorn and dragging it ahead one after another to try and speed up the process. The smaller creatures, the tinier badgers, the things that don't look like they could withstand, siege machinery or arrows or anything, are sort of keeping their distance, but almost in a reverent kind of way.
And they're heading towards Mount Doom.
They are heading towards Mount
Get
Doom.
it warm.
Get it warm.
Yeah.
Clock
yeah,
is ticking.
I see.
Yeah.
Tariel, she's listening. I mean, obviously, she's sort of back and forth with this conversation about the Palantir, but she's sort of only half invested in it. And suddenly, she says, "Could we sabotage the egg?"
I think that might be a good idea. The orc did say that Gwaihir flies between Mount Doom and the nest every day. We will encounter him no matter what.
Maybe
The-
we should wait to
Gotta
see
be
what
now.
he does.
Oh, we
That's
can watch.
Yes, that's what I'm thinking.
The egg can't hatch without warmth, correct?
We
I don't know
believe
much of-
so.
Okay.
You
Sorry.
can make me an insight check, Hallowith. Actually, I'll
Oh,
allow
okay.
anybody that wants to. Yeah.
Because if we don't need to necessarily even sabotage, I mean, ideally sabotage the egg, that's not a good rule.
Is that an
Um,
insight check or a lore check?
That's
the same. They're the same
Yeah,
thing.
I think insight for this one.
Okay.
Oh, I hit my target number exactly. 16.
Okay, great.
24.
24,
That's a dirty 20
dirty 20
with a 6.
with a 6. Okay.
Dang.
What do we got, Barry?
Got 32 with 3 6s.
Oh,
my
What the hell?
He knows about
It's
dragons.
His Arab.
Yeah,
He knows
Beery.
about
Yeah.
dragons. Of
Yeah.
course he
Another
does.
dragon.
Barry,
Yeah, he's our
you-
dragon
Family
guy.
you have spent so many hours in the libraries trying to look for the most information you possibly can about building cool stuff. And you happen to know a lot of stuff about keeping like little lizard eggs, and then dragon lore is literally built into dwarven culture in Middle-earth. Yeah, the nest is moving because it needs warmth. And what's going to be hotter than Mount Doom for an egg this size?
So we don't need to necessarily sabotage it completely. We just need to remove it from the nest and put it somewhere. If we can't destroy it, which I'm sure we can, it's an
Or
egg, but
simply stop the nest from continuing
Well-
on.
well, I don't know if we necessarily want to do that. I think the closer this entire structure of twigs, branches, and huorns gets to fire could aid us quite significantly. Here's what. Actually, you know what? Don, can you take out your earphones for this real quick?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, I can. Okay, for those listening
Okay.
on the podcast,
Because I don't want you to absolutely
no.
know what I'm trying to.
No,
We'll
no,
give
what
you
I'm
a thumbs
doing.
up when you can come back in.
Yeah,
okay.
sure.
I'll step
Okay.
away. I'll step away. Here I go.
All right.
Okay, so I've made
Jack.
promises, right, to the ends. To the only thing I've ever done is to promise that I'll help them find their Endwives. If I don't succeed in doing this, I'm not gonna be able to do that. I'll be dead.
Right.
If we can get that nest to Mount Doom, I'm fairly certain I can try my absolute best to convince the Huorns to rebel. And maybe the moment Gwaihir gets into this thing, if they can enclose him in a burning twig nest into this ball of fire that he cannot escape from, if we can ground him in that nest and then burn it,
I like this.
that's a very quick and easy method to dispatch a bird.
I think
do like that
we-
idea.
A regular bird, sure, but one with the one ring.
We don't know. It could be like a flaming eagle or something.
If
you
we
It's
know?
can
also
remove-
predicated on a lot of quick alliance making, and
Yeah, that's well. I mean,
do
yeah.
these
It's a
Ents
good
care
plan to
about
see.
your? Yeah.
Yeah.
Do they? Well, Ents are gonna be. These trees are going closer and closer to fire. And if nothing else, instinctually, trees hate axes and fire.
Mm-hmm.
Breaking, hacking, burning. It's the only things they don't like. So I'm thinking maybe it's all I've got at the moment in terms
Yeah.
of what we can potentially do. We need to separate Guahir from the ring. I don't know how to do that. But it might be even like a snaggle. Like if we can get these horns to just like grip and remove, or like snap and break
hold
the
'em.
claws.
I,
Oh, Barry's got
down.
you got a thing?
if we got like him to get held, I think what we just need to we just have like a bunch of contingencies, and we'll see how they make a contingency sandwich. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
When the
So
shit
when
hits
do
the
we
fan,
use-
it's on.
When do we use the Palantir? I
don't
really
know.
think this is
I
important.
don't know. Yeah, the Palantir, I'm sure it's important. So I have no idea what's going to happen with that. I think that's what we like. That'll summon him. I don't know who else. I don't know what we say into the Palantir.
I don't know either. It's Faramir just left the note
Hello?
that said,
Is this thing on?
"Yeah,
Is this thing on?
yeah." The
Yeah.
only note with it was when all hope seems lost.
Which we're not there yet.
We're not
Yeah.
there
There
yet.
yet.
I don't
But
think we're
boy,
there
it
yet.
feels like it. We're
I
starting.
I
feels
don't
like
think
it.
we're there yet.
But I think if we pin too many hopes and then it's gone, and it's like, well, you you busted too early. Terrible. Dom, please
Guys.
cut that out. I'm saying that now. Have a cut there.
Yeah.
If that happens too early, like we're screwed.
And
So
I hate when I bust an orb too early.
Bust
You
an
know what
orb.
I mean?
Okay. Okay.
all right, all right.
We'll try
Oh,
that.
God.
I do like your plan though of the yes.
I got an idea, guys.
I also
Okay.
have an idea, but that's fine.
Yeah, and so I was just telling
Theories
them
is
there's
better,
this
whatever it
thing
is.
called group chats, and you can actually plan your stuff ahead of time. But sorry, Anna Maria, they're ready for me. I
That's
gotta
not
go. Okay.
fun.
I know
for-
that's also not fun. I've
That's
also
no
only
fun.
I've only just had this idea midstream. So
Yeah.
right.
I love it.
This is a
Excellent.
very much on the fly plan.
Oh,
Got a lot of contingencies, which is good
Mhm.
because that's
Yeah.
usually what makes
Okay.
the plan work.
Yeah, we'll see.
just out of pure honoring everything, will this plan be enacted in such that I need to get someone else to edit that portion? Would you like to keep that portion in? Would you like me to cut it out?
Keep most of it in. There is a section where you will see where I want you to cut.
Okay. Okay. I'm immediately.
I don't want you to cut it. I, will
I know
not want
it's
you
not
to
going to
cut
happen.
that.
It won't be
So,
cut because you'll
just
see it
leave
and be
it
like,
in.
"Aha!" And I know the editor, and he's not going to cut it either. So,
No chance. No chance. Okay. So
Fury is
yeah, what are we
going
doing?
to like shift like uncomfortably on the saddle with Halloweth, and he's just like, "Go, go!" Even the friction is even worse here in Mordor. Wait, friction, and he's gonna perk up with an idea. Don, is the rear of the nest a little bit more vacant than the where all the things pulling it?
Yes.
Halloweth, take us to the rear. And he's like, ready.
yeah.
Because his feet are in the stirrups.
Absolutely. Yeah. No. As you wish.
He does so. Oh, crap. I
spurs
was
the horse.
expecting that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
I mean, we need to get there.
You got it.
Yeah, we need to get there.
And unseen.
He'll have a look to the others and just kind of gestures for them to follow him. I'm hoping Barry knows what he's doing, and I'm gonna tag along for this bit. I have a part that I can potentially play later. This is all you, my guy.
Oh, look real oaky as he kind of like hunches. Gives himself like a little bit of a, yeah.
For those listening on the podcast.
Zach's going method on this one.
It's a Grinch face, is what it is.
That is
That's what
a
Zach's gonna
constipated
look like
baby.
as an old man.
wow.
Oh yeah, we're already there.
Wow.
There we go.
All right, hold on.
This is
Do I have a hood? Dang it.
top tier acting, folks. At Tori's lost her headphones. We're all just trying to
For once, I don't have a hood. I don't-
Is this good, Barry? This is a very difficult pose to hold. I hope we're doing
Yes. Like he looks back over his shoulders like, oh, yeah, you look absolutely terrible. Yeah, he's perfect.
Excellent.
Fantastic.
Okay, I can't. My face is gonna cramp if
Yeah.
I do that the whole time.
Don't.
But no, I'll give it up. We'll do
Podcast
this.
listeners aren't even going to see it.
No, I'm so sorry.
They can use their
Watch it on
imagination.
YouTube. Yeah,
All
Theater of the
right.
mind, baby. Okay.
Okay. If we are making our way towards a specific part of the nest, I'm going to ask first you make a travel check. And then I'm going to ask you make a stealth check. And then I'm going to ask you make a scan check. I would like the two people on horses to make travel, one of you to make scan, one of you to make stealth. Decide
I'll
amongst
make a
yourselves.
stealth.
We'll do
I think I'll do the stealth, Barry. If that's okay
Yeah.
with you.
Can I do scan to like look for like, because I'm imagining we're not beelining, right? We're trying to meander and look like we're some of the, the
Yes.
revelers, excited for the dragon to come, all this stuff.
I got a 36 on stealth
Wow.
Poof, smoke bomb.
with 2 6s.
22 for travel.
22 for travel. Okay.
Drink for 22.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Cheers.
Might be the last one. Who
19
knows?
for scan.
19 for scan. Okay.
I totally rolled an Irish on, but he has favor.
Oh, you lucky, lucky guy. All right. So, with all of these rolls, Beery, with a scan, you see two large flying beasts in opposite directions. One, an enormous looking moth, butterfly winged creature that is almost in a way this sort of bioluminescent fluttering that seems to have this sort of like green, almost similar to what you saw on the Army of the Dead, that seems to be sort of falling off of it, almost as if its very scales have been corrupted. Many, many miles in the opposite direction, further to the east, is going to be, you see, the flying three-headed fell beast that you know to have the Witch King of Angmar, still a ways off, but within eyesight. You can see it. With that stealth check and those travel checks, I am going to say you all have no problem making your way through the herds and packs of making your way through the packs of wargs, making your way through the various orc groupings that are just sort of sitting there, almost as if this is some sort of construction job and one person is doing all of the work and they're just sort of like there for once everything happens and gets done. The rest of the animals are some of the worst animals that you can possibly imagine. There are swarms of huge rats. There are bats and crepine from Dunland flying this way and that, not dealing with the sheer number of bugs that have formed an almost gaseous cloud-looking thing as it continues to go forward and backward and forward and backward.
Are the bats eating the swarm of bugs? Can I just ask? Because that seems like a very
not.
natural.
They're not
Oh.
eating the swarms of bugs.
Maybe they're fruit bats.
You see,
So pretty much our worst nightmare is unfolding before our eyes.
yep,
Is that what you were telling me,
you?
John?
You see what looks to be almost an enormous spiked armadillo, just traveling past you at one point. Any number of creatures that you might fear through your worst imaginations that seem to be almost not necessarily a combination of two, but in a way that like trying to get something to be something else. The corruption and the evil of it gives you the sense that none of this is natural by any means. But you are, easily enough, dressed up as orcs, and you happen to know enough routes that are stealthy enough, out of the way enough. You're skirting by the lean-tos and the sort of more disheveled parts of Mordor. But as you get closer, the divots start to form because you're within range of the mountain, and the traversing for the horses gets significantly more difficult as you're trying to like weave in and out of these pits. Basically, some of them are filled with water, filled with dead things in the water. The water's not clear. It's just lying there in a pool filled with muck and dirt and skeletons and rot and corruption. There is what you would know to be these sort of red rocks and the sort of galvorn-ish type material littered throughout the entirety of the rocks, and it is decrepit and ancient and dirty and dusty and evil.
Halworth looks down. There are dead things. Dead faces in the water.
No, there's not. No, there's not, but that's an extra 6 HP to the final boss.
We are so
This
close,
so
man.
we're so
I'm sorry,
close.
I-
Why would you?
Why would you
Why?
do this to
Why?
us?
Zach!
It's fine.
He's actually adding it.
No,
I just-
no, I don't know what you're talking about. Don't worry about it. Nothing. It's fine. It's fine.
Does
It's okay. If
anybody
we lose
feel
by,
their
you know,
pulse
if
in
he's
their
like
neck?
6 away, I'll be, sorry.
Are you? Okay.
Are there orcs around the nest? Like, how close are we getting to this perimeter of the nest?
So you've managed to sneak by a fair number of them, and there's no one looking for you. There's no one looking suspiciously at you still. You've made it through with relative ease. The question becomes, one, why? And two, what are you going to get when you see there? So as you make your way closer to the rear of this nest, what are you guys looking for specifically? Are you looking for anything in particular as you gaze upon what looks to be just a very incredibly large structure made out of wood?
I leave it up to
just-
Barry.
Tariel's looking for handholds. She's wondering if she can climb this thing.
Yeah, how tall are we talking here?
It's like 20 feet to the top. You're gonna have to. Yeah.
She can backflip onto that.
Yeah.
You want to
Come
make me an
on.
athletics check and try?
No, not right now. I'm not
Not
ready.
right now, not right now,
I'm
not
not
right
ready yet.
And I'm
Okay.
imagining just like a nest, right? Like a nice
Yeah.
woven nest of branches
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
limbs and
Yeah.
trunks and trees. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Okay, guys. We'll see what happens. So, he's just gonna urge Halloweth to just like, you're doing great. Just take us closer. Get right up on it.
I'm getting right up on
But
it.
don't
I
get
also
us
have.
suspicious.
I'm not looking suspicious, Barry.
Don't be suspicious.
I'm not looking suspicious. I look hideous.
Don't be suspicious.
I
Don't
I
be
also have
suspicious.
I wasn't gonna
Eglos,
say
which I
anything,
can
but-
like use as a grappling hook. So and then just get up there.
Okay.
And my spear is retractable.
Oh, don't be climbing yet.
No, I'm not climbing. I'm just
grapple.
saying that when you're ready, I'm here for it.
This is Tariel grappling hook erasure. So
Yeah.
And
God.
this thing is just we're crawling, right? We're not hauling ass.
this is the equivalent of watching a tortoise try to like get from one end of the yard to another. It's like, oh, okay, well, you've stopped, and okay, we're moving. Oh, okay, so it's just one step, and then another, and then
Okay.
oh, okay, we're stopping again, and then another.
And there's a couple beings pushing from behind.
Yes, so
Every
there are
bit.
2 cave trolls pushing basically from the rear where you are. There are a number up front as well as some beasts of Gorgoroth that have been saddled and are pulling.
Okay. Let's get betwixt them so we're at equal distance. We don't want to be close to these things.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay.
Okay. He
He's gonna
sidles the
hop
horse up.
hop off the horse and act like he's help pushing.
Okay. Go ahead and
Hey,
make me an athletics check for me. Or, well, I guess if you are pushing and, you know what? No roll necessary. I'll allow it.
Okay. He's got a limp.
Yeah.
He's getting into full character, and he's just kind of like,
Mhm.
come on.
Am I
come
am
join
I
me."
doing the same thing? I'm doing the same thing. Okay. Okay.
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
He hops off. And Biri, quick question.
Yeah.
Are we going to need this horse any further? Because I don't want it to get caught up in Guahir's net.
I am making this up as we go. Yeah. Yeah. Hold on to the horse. That's probably a good idea.
Hold on to the horse. You not send it away.
I don't know.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if you had further need of it. I put.
A quick getaway might be a great idea. Yeah.
Then I will keep it here. And he gives the horse the most like apologetic look, like
The horse goes,
we might need. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Sorry,
I
can
know
I just
you're gonna.
observe?
The overtime
the-
contingency.
The closer we get to Mount Doom, the wackier Halloweth gets. And I'm not, I
Yeah.
don't know how I feel about that. Like, why is he getting so
He
comfortable?
he's had a week now where he's recovered from. It's like when it's like a wound. One wound has closed or is closing. It's kind of scabbed over now, and it's eventually new skin is growing under that. He's kind of healing that mental wound. He's still being very crabby from Mordor, so it kind of fluctuates a lot. Where he's sometimes very crabby and very like Rhaevar's betrayal. Ooh, he's gonna kill a guy, and then other times it's almost delirium. At this, he hasn't eaten or drank anything good in so long. He's kind of half down in health. He's still recovering mentally, so he's flipping between these two like personalities, between his shadow points and his healing. That's where he's at. So sometimes he's whimsical. Other times
He's cutting out tongues.
so dark, and it's
Seventh
it's
level of
fun.
exhaustion.
I'm having a
Yeah.
great time playing it.
I
It's
can
great.
tell.
So
I can tell.
yeah,
This is tremendous to watch. I'm here for it, man.
Yeah.
I just woo. Tariel she's no part in whatever bro scheme is unfolding
You're-
here. She
You're not
occasionally
joining us?
she's part like she occasionally throws a glance to Tinel like I'm just gonna do what they want me.
Mhm, mhm.
Yeah, Tinel is
Okay.
She's here for
Very
the
much so.
ride at this
Yeah.
point. She has
Yeah.
no
He's gonna-
plans, no other ideas.
She has a
She's
couple ideas,
I
but
mean, long
Yeah.
shots. She's
Yeah.
still
He's going
looking
to
like
call
she's
up.
gonna climb this nest, but
He's gonna call up. I need your sticks. I need your sticks. You got your sticks.
I knew it. I knew it. He hands the berry the stick like I knew it. I knew it.
yeah, Tinel gives the
Just
stick
a
as well.
stick.
Well, it's just a stick, but plus a bit more.
mhm,
And we're having this conversation as we're acting like we're pushing, right? He's
mhm.
getting the sticks.
Putting on the podcast, my face is a mixture of confusion and anticipation.
Just a
Mhm.
stick.
Juicy stick, but together. And enter montage of like him, the metal fittings on each end of all of our individual sticks, fit and twist, linking together and make, and imagine 6, 6, 6, 4, 6, all added up together. And he starts going through his pack, like stuffs his pack, like hidden into the branches and brambles, and he starts pulling some stuff out. He pulls out a bundle of fabric, and it's feathers, 3 large feathers, the same feathers that he picked up from where the eagle fell in like episode 1.
Oh my
Episode 2.
God.
Episode 2. And he slots those into the 3 base of the figures, and he digs through his pack again, and he finds something kind of sharp, bony, and pointed. And it is the point of the wyvern tail from way back when, that has a very similar metal fitting on the rear of it. And he puts it onto the end of it, and he stuffs this arrow, just kind of like hides it amongst the brambles for safekeeping for now.
What in the inventory?
I'm telling you, he's got a pack.
Yeah. Okay. And
This is
now
the thing where you're like, I
Okay.
can't spend this. I'm gonna need it later. Like you picked it up in the starting zone. You're like, it looks shiny. I don't know what it's for. I might need it.
This is that one like 10 by 12 inch like wooden piece you've kept in like
Yeah.
the basement when you finally need something to that whole thing where it's like, oh my God, I've been saving this for 10 years.
I need it.
70
Finally.
episodes he's been carrying those feathers.
Yeah. Holy shit. I know exactly what. Oh my God. Okay. Yeah, we can do something with that.
Giant fucking arrow.
Yeah. And he has discovered his way of how to finally power the damn thing. Friction. We're looking for a large rock, a big rock. We need a rock.
You're in Mordor.
Define big rock.
Like, well, he's gonna do some calculations, and it needs to be kind of flat, but in some type of like hourglassian shape, so he can tie one of his not magical, but elven ropes around it, around its
Make
middle.
me a scan check, please.
Rocks we got.
Look, Okie. Oh, there's 2 6s, baby. 32.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's a
Oh.
scanned.
Gotta stop asking you to make scan checks, Max. Yeah, with a 32, you find the perfect rock you're looking for.
Look, Look busy and
Yeah, we're
wonky.
pushing, we're pushing. Oh,
he's
you
gonna-
go to, I think I
What
saw
are you
something over
looking
there.
at?
I think I saw something
I'm
behind
just
that rock
working
right
here.
there. Saw something behind the rock. Go check it out.
Oh yeah. So he's gonna like kind of eyeball some good branches, tie the rope, hand the ends to Tinel, and the other one to Tariel, and and each one of those ropes are connected to kind of real springy limbs that are woven on the sides of this nest, right? And he's gonna take his own rope and he's gonna go trotting after the perfect rock, heavy, but not too heavy that it'll break either the limbs or the rope. And he's gonna run and he's gonna quickly tie it around the middle and he's gonna run back, as this thing's just crawling. And it's trying to be in line with the back of this rig.
Okay. Sure. You rolled a 32. Make me a craft check next.
Oh, to tie some knots. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, this is okay. We're cooking. We're cooking. All right, here we go.
Might need to go let the dog out in a
craft?
second.
Oh, okay. Spend a hope point,
Yeah.
and he's gonna use
Yes.
Dude,
Yes.
Smoking
Yes.
glue
Oh,
guns
yes.
die.
Come on, glue guns.
They're gonna be
Glue gun.
smoking.
Okay, D12 is not great, but there's a 6. I'm liking this luck that I've been having, but with all of those dice rolled, it's a 31.
Playing to your strengths, my goodness. Okay.
It's all coming down to this.
Okay. To that end, successfully happens.
Okay.
Everything you're trying to do. I need everyone to make me an awareness check, please.
Barry's busy.
Yeah.
You guys got
Yeah,
this.
what's been watching
Yeah,
us
yeah.
I
this
am
whole
favored
time?
in awareness, so
Same.
Oh, and while they're tallying those up, what's happening, Don, with this rope, all that's happening, nothing with the arrow, but just the limbs are now being stretched powered by all of these beasts of burden that are pulling this nest, and the stone is just a weight connected to all of that. So it's pretty much a bowstring constantly drawn as this rock slowly just get dragged by all that friction behind. Does that make sense?
It doesn't. Could you do it again?
Okay. Let me just draw a quick schematic. Okay, as you were, tally it
Okay.
up.
Awareness wise, I got a 20.
A 20. Okay. Tinel? Tariel?
20 on my awareness.
27.
27. My
27.
God.
27.
The three of you, with Beery clearly busy doing all of this, are going to see one of the cave trolls wander up to you. Thump, thump. What are you doing?
I'm working here. What are you doing?
Pushing. Why aren't you?
We thought we saw a scout one of those nice, tasty horses round behind one of those rocks, but we got him, so don't worry about it. Go back to work.
You got a horse?
It's ours now. As courtesy of the Great Windlord.
I'm starving.
That's for the Windlord, not for you, you cretin.
Okay.
I'm having a really nice time. This is nice. This is fun.
Oh yeah, nice. Okay.
Anytime anyone's called
I
a cretin
beat
is
my
a
target
nice
number
time.
by 7.
Beat your target number by 7. Okay.
Yeah.
He's going to look around. Actually, hang on. Let me make that contested. That's very poor, actually. Okay.
Are you ready for some scam mannequin?
Before you do that, the
Okay.
troll is going to say, all right, but if you see any more of them, you give it to me, eh?
What's in it for me?
How about I don't crush your skull?
I'll put a gaping hole in your belly.
And he's rearing up on all four, or it's not all fours, he's a bipedal. On two. Sees the four of you.
All right, all right. Tell you what, I'll point out any nice, tasty horses just for you. But if I have a use for your strength, will you do that for me in return?
Oh, this is another persuasion check, and you gotta beat way more. Hang on.
Oh God.
You have to beat
You
your
got this,
target.
pal.
Why do I keep thinking, wow, Zach's doing a great accent?
He's just talking. Because he's just talking.
Well, no, it's, I mean, I don't
He's a
sound like I'm
British
from
guy.
East.
No,
well,
I know.
There's
No,
a
I
lot of
know,
accents, but
But if anyone's going to be good at them, it's going to be you.
Yeah.
yeah, I'm going like for some reason, okay, all my orc voice is just from East London. So, okay, I'm
You're
gonna
right, bruv.
use a hope. I'm gonna use a hope point for this one. And
It's Tuesday, isn't it? Sorry. Sorry.
that's cultural appropriation, Don.
Oh.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay.
And he learned it from watching
That
you.
was so close. Okay. It's not bad. It's not bad. Am I getting, is everyone around me? Can I use a fellowship? We got 30 of them. Can I use one of these
Yes.
Let's start
fellowships?
burning. Let's
Oh my
burn
God,
babies.
yes.
Yeah.
Come
Yeah, let's
on.
burn them.
Okay.
If not now, then when?
Oh, yes. It was an extra 6. Terrific. Okay. I got a 27 with 2 6s.
Ooh. Oh, I don't know if I can beat that. That's 10. That's only an 18.
Still way too close.
It was a gamble.
All right. You're going to look around. And just like those trolls from the Baldur's Gate scene in Act 1, Tori knows what I'm talking about. You're going to see him say, yeah, you come find me a nice, tasty meal. Maybe I will. What's your name?
Grubhub.
Oh, yeah.
Bye, everybody. This has
Not,
been great.
not sponsored, but if you want to, season 2 is coming out. I'm just saying, Grubhub.
Yeah, hey, Grubhub.
Grubhub, eh?
Yeah.
I'm Harrison. Nope, that was stupid. That was really
no,
stupid. I can't take it back, can I?
I mean, what were the trolls' names? Weren't they?
Bert,
had,
Tom,
like,
and
silly
Will.
names.
It's not like, yeah.
Might as
Yeah,
well
it
be
works.
Harrison.
Harry.
Harry. I'm Harry. Harry Blotter.
No.
No, it was just Harry. I'm Harry. Just Harry.
Just Harry.
Which is not 6 HP to the final boss.
No. Different franchise. Okay.
Pleasure, Harry.
Yeah.
All right. That's a deal. Now back to work. We'll all keep pushing.
You can order me about. And then we will stop here as Max explains the physics behind what I do not understand.
It's okay. This is rough. Nothing is to scale. Okay, let me see if it even picks it up. All right, so you got the nest, right? And you got the egg at its center. He's peeled off just by friction, right? Like we're dragging the stone, the flat stone across the land, and it's pulling these limbs and making the nest into a bow.
So theoretically, if you were to say cut a rope and make a giant spear arrow to pierce something large, that would maybe
Correct.
It's a crazy thought.
Shit, dude.
Correct.
Okay.
Oh,
I was
Okay.
just gonna
so
get in
cool.
there with a knife,
Okay.
man. Your thing is way better.
Okay. Iris.
But
Keep
the arrow's
moving.
not loaded. Right now, we just got like a Y
A
of
taut bowstring.
rope, and we're towing a rock,
All right. I'll allow it.
tightening all that tension.
As you guys are doing this, you're going to hear Harry Actually, before we do that, before Harry chimes
God.
in, everybody here make me either an awareness check or a scan check.
Where?
Awareness is
Oh
great.
my god.
I beat it by loads.
Charlotte?
I'm good. I'm favored in awareness, so I rolled 2d12s. One was an Eye of Sauron and one was Gandalf.
Oh, how appropriate. How appropriate. Toriel.
Ooh, okay.
Toriel,
Okay.
at
And then
the-
there were 2 6s, a 5, and a 4.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Toriel,
I'm aware.
what you see and what you hear, this all happens simultaneously as Harry, the troll, looks up and goes, "What's that?" And the one thing that you guys haven't seen throughout any of this is spiders. Because off in the distance, heading directly towards the nest, is you hear the little murmur of their footfalls, and then it gets louder and louder and louder as Shelob and hundreds of spiders the size of like 30-pound dogs have made their way closer to you as you hear Harry say, "Battle stations, she's here."
Yep.
And that's where we're going to take our 5-minute break.
Oh, God.
Yep.
I don't like these spiders.
There's
No.
a civil war.
Thank
Oh,
y'all so much for
I
being here.
thought
Oh, all we
No,
had to
she-
do was just maybe a day later. Just a day.
Shelob and Gwai here had a falling out.
That's
they
right.
fought,
Yeah.
and
That's
she
right.
left him.
This
For-
is great. We got
She's
chaos.
a strong, independent woman who don't
She's
need
a
no man.
strong, independent spider who don't need no eagle man.
Mhm.
Bird.
I'm on her side, frankly.
Yeah.
Oddly enough, perhaps you could be. We'll find out
God.
as the forces of Gwai here go toe to toe, or excuse me, claw to claw, with the forces of Shelob and her spouse.
This feels like if in real
Defend.
life, if Australia decided to invade America. This is hilarious.
It's a metaphor,
Yeah.
Zach.
Which-
That's
which,
what
to
I
be
was going
fair,
for.
If you Australia, if you
Come on
fancy
over,
to
man.
invade,
Yeah, if
now's
you
the
just-
time.
if
Come
you wanna-
on.
Listen, it would help actually.
It
a
would.
lot
Yeah.
if
It
you
would
do
help.
that.
Li-
Could
listen,
you do that?
You're based. Listen, I'm more Aussie than American. I will be with you. I sound more like you. I can pass. I can pass for one.
My brother made an Australian while there, and he's half. I'm Australian basically now, and I would love to live amongst your people.
I'm sure the Australians will be absolutely chuffed to know we've given them the green light to invade. We'll see you all in 5. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
So, Thranduil, what do you
Yes.
think you would be doing in the midst of preparations after the Battle of Minas Tirith?
I think everything is currently in a state of disarray, and Thranduil has been charged basically by Faramir to organize, consolidate, and somehow put a plan in motion, since he feels he is no longer capable of going forward. So, I think utilizing his new allyship with Dine and the dwarves of Erebor, I believe it was Brand, right? Brand
Yes.
and the men of
Bran,
Dale.
son of Bane, son of Bard or something.
He's like the grandson of
Yeah,
Bard.
he's the grandson kid.
Um, but taking advantage of those new alliances, I think he would just try to set up a bit of a council to, get more heads on the ideas front
Got it.
and see what people can offer. He's taking the manager position and just trying to get all of the things organized in a
Got it.
way that they will be able to do something effectively.
Got it. Where does Thranduil see this all going, given the council that is saying, let's go to Kirith Ungol, the council that is saying, let's march on the Black Gate, he's on the back foot, the council that's saying, let's just create order from nothing. Let's go to the cave system in the south that may or may not be sealed up.
I think all Thranduil knows is that the group suddenly went south with Zengaya
To go find Gollum, yes.
to go find Gollum, and they
Who
didn't
was
return.
spotted. They did not return, no.
I think that if we get to a day where they should have been back but they aren't, Thranduil would assume that plans have changed,
Mm-hmm.
but he has utmost trust in Tauriel
Mm-hmm.
as his commander to assess the situation and adapt. It's something that she's done countless times in the past on his behalf, and it's why she got promoted. Good
Go
head
ahead
on
and
her shoulders.
Yeah, go ahead and make me an insight check then.
Sure. Okay, insight. It's been a while. Succeeds with an 18.
An 18. Thranduil, with an 18, you realize that not only should Tariel and the rest of her group of friends be back by now, you look around and you see that the members of the council are also somewhat more wary in their own way for their own kingdoms. Elrond is worried for the people of Rivendell. Halbarad is worried for the Númenóreans, and there's this growing sense of unease. It's around this time, one of Faramir's attendants is going to approach you at one of the council tables and fully bows, human and everything. King Thranduil, Steward Faramir is requesting your presence in the Citadel.
I think he'll see Thranduil just sort of straighten and just a very subtle sort of sigh, like a very measured sigh, not like a exasperated one, but just a lead me to him. And he'll step down from the dais. And
You guys walk just a couple levels up to the Citadel, where you see Faramir, not necessarily at the chair, but there's tables and chairs everywhere, war plans, battle maps, parchments, scrolls, and Faramir, as you've already noticed, and as you, Chris, already know, having watched the episodes, Faramir himself is not doing well. There are any number of sort of almost manic behaviors that he's exhibiting, whether it's a twitch or just a surge of energy, or his eyes are very wide and a little bit bloodshot, and he's wheeling himself through the wheelchair, trying to sort of figure things out. And he goes, yes, King Thranduil, and he kind of pauses for a second, really unable to find his own sort of mindset, shake it off a
Thranduil
bit.
reaches out, puts a hand on his shoulder to sort of draw attention, give him something to focus on.
Thank you.
You are supposed to be resting, my lord.
I fear we have no time. Please. And he gestures to one of the chairs. Sit.
Thranduil does so.
Okay. Lord Thranduil, we are out of food. The armies that marched here can only be sustained for perhaps a week at most. Here has destroyed most of the land in this kingdom, and we can only grow so much so quickly. We are out of options. I would ask what you and the council have you come to any decisions? Have you and the council come to any decisions?
The council is fractured. I fear all leaders are currently in a position where they must look after their own. None are in peak form. Therefore, I believe our best course of action is to present a united front with what we have left in the time we have left.
I am glad you think that, but I fear with what I am about to tell you may change things.
Thranduil audibly sighs and just says, "Oh, out with it.
I
Waste not words."
have utilized Saruman and Sauron's aid in keeping my kingdom alive.
Like, it's clear he's angry,
Mm-hmm.
but it's the Robin Williams, but let me tell you why.
Fair.
You're upset. Yes, and let me tell you why.
Yes.
Uh,
In that
so it's
case,
basically
I will ask you, make me a persuasion check. Persuade Faramir to fully grasp what you are trying to say by not saying it.
persuade or
Persuade.
courtesy.
So we haven't used. You know what? I'll allow it. I
Oh,
respect the hustle.
This ain't gonna be good because persuasion I've got 3. Courtesy I've got 1.
Yeah.
Thranduil's not a courteous guy.
You know what?
If it's the most appropriate stat, then that's what we use.
It is the most appropriate stat. We did cut out courtesy just given that persuasion, I think, everyone was going to more or less be persuaded in the end. But courtesy wasn't necessarily going to be there.
Okay.
Yeah, give me a courtesy check.
It's gonna be so bad.
Let's see what happens.
Holy shit. Okay.
Did you pass?
I passed and I Gandalfed. Insane.
All right,
That
you
was
tell
a
me
12
then.
and a 4.
Okay, with an instant. You've Anna Maria'd my dice on a roll I have never used in this entire 72 episodes. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Let's do this. On a Gandalf.
What does this end up being exactly?
I need you to describe what Thranduil does with the understanding that Faramir is going to understand perfectly because you are going to Osanwe him in the way that you can to a human pass along emotions that you feel, both positive emotions and maybe, well, there's no good or bad emotions. There's just emotions and we feel them. Tell me what emotions Thranduil feels in this moment.
Assuming there is wine nearby, because there always tends to be with Thranduil, I think he's going to have that moment where he starts drinking and as he continues to drink, it just seems more aggressive and throws some way. He pushes into Faramir's mind a fraction of what it has felt like to have Sauron slowly poison you over 2 millennia. With the understanding that if Faramir has taken any counsel, has had any contact with Sauron, that he would be corrupted and manipulated infinitely faster, having not the experience to draw upon that Thranduil has.
Okay.
And his frustration, but at the very bottom of that barrel of emotion, I think there is just a sliver of understanding. Because Thranduil, at some point, strategically had to give Sauron Dol Guldur. Because it used to be a Sylvan Sindar dwelling. It was a realm at one point. And I think he understands that sometimes there are things that are allowed strategically that, taken piecemeal, feel much worse than the longer term big picture plan. And I think he is asking in that moment for Faramir to 100% level with him as to what sort of long-term plan this could have been part of, because he can't see it.
Okay.
It's not his realm. He doesn't know what's happening here.
Mm-hmm.
And if there's anything Thranduil hates, it's not knowing what is happening in a space he is responsible for.
Very true. With a Gandalf courtesy check. Because why not? Because why not?
Because that's the day we're having.
That's the kind of day we're having. Faramir is going to immediately recognize the gravity of the look, the gravity of the action, and feel through Osanwe everything you have just described. And he is also going to...
The wine glass is delicately set down. Somehow. It doesn't break.
Good. Faramir is going to put both hands on the table and say, I did what I did to save my kingdom. We were losing. And it has been impressed upon me my entire life that we are the realm that safeguards all of Middle-earth. And in that moment, I knew I was not the man for the task. I needed others, and I had none. But I now know things that Gwaihir does not want me to know, and that is his realm is falling into panic and ruin. And over the course of the next hour or so, Thranduil is filled in with the information about the Entish Civil War and how the divide between the Ents led some to side with Gwaihir and others to side with us, or the humans and the elves, not us.
Which we had only seen hints of in
only
the
seen
gameplay.
hints of. Rather than go into a really big long explanation, because obviously fan fiction.
That's for after party.
That's for after party
that's
stuff.
That's for a debrief episode where you share all the stuff you didn't get to do.
Exactly. So you will learn of the Entish Civil War. You will learn that the Grey Company's side quest to destroy Shelob's eggs had the exact intended effect, and that Shelob blames Gwaihir for the loss of her children and rebelled, and now sits inside Cirith Ungol. Right? Little bit of treachery on the bad guy's side there.
I like that.
So she and her spawn and those that sided with her, whether they were orcs or animals, are now in Cirith Ungol as sort of a safeguard, holding up, securing their defenses. You also understand that Rayval has volunteered to sacrifice himself to attempt to, in the midst of all of this chaos, kill Gwaihir under the pretext of the rest of the party getting to Gollum. And Havari is deciding to join him. These two have quite literally offered to Beren and Luthien themselves. Whether that is romantic poetry that Rayval wants to enact or part of Faramir's plan. You're not entirely sure, but you get the sense over the course of that hour that everything is falling apart, both with you all, the good guys, but also with Gwaihir and Shelob and Gollum and Sauron and Saruman and the Badger and all of these bad guys that have been a seemingly united force, but in reality have fractured. And Faramir has been right at the center of that, utilizing Saruman and Sauron's forces and influences and counsel. And welcome back. When we last left off, a giant bow spear thing was crafted by Beery that is currently attached to the back of the nest using some pretty cool physics and mechanics that have been explained to me properly, so I now understand it. And I have adjusted the map accordingly so that I will now be able to show you.
Oh, God.
Oh, no, don't show us anything.
Do you
no,
guys
no,
want
I
to
don't
see
wanna
it?
Show
anything.
us, show
You
us.
guys
I don't
wanna
want to
see
see
it?
a map. Because a
Yeah,
map
let's
means
see
that
it.
we're gonna.
Yeah. So
because of the spiders, right?
for those listening on the podcast, this one was actually made by me. I had to add the nest.
Yeah, for those listening on the podcast, sorry.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh,
Oh my.
I had
dude,
to
that's
do-
cool as shit.
I had to
That's
do
really
awesome.
nice.
a little bit of additions there to add the sort of bow thing and the rock in the back. But you guys are within this sort of nest area as the forces of Shelob the Spider and Gwaihir the Windlord begin to clash. What are you guys doing?
Running, screaming.
Yeah.
How far away is the horde of spiders?
Still a ways
Great
off.
question.
Still a ways off.
What
Yeah.
does that mean? What does that mean?
You've I will say
What's a ways?
You've-
Because however a ways is, it's too close.
it's too close for comfort for sure. I'll
What
say
do we do?
they're
Yeah,
about
how
they're a
is-
couple miles off. You can see them.
How are the other Gwaihir's forces reacting? Is it a mad scramble? Are
Forming
they
ranks.
Okay.
That we're behind, nice and safe and toasty and warm.
As they're forming ranks, how many are abandoning pushing the
Oh,
nest?
most of them. Most of them, yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right.
The
So
lines have
it's
been taut.
slowing.
Mhm.
Okay.
I'm looking for Gwaihir in the sky
Make me
at
a
this
scan
point.
check.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anybody
come on,
everybody want to
Tim.
make me a scan check?
Sure.
Yeah.
Barry's too busy rigging. Like, he's just doing
Eyes
rope
up.
stuff.
You
Oh no.
Okay, I would like
Tori,
to do it.
Come on, man.
I'm just teasing.
It's an eye of Sauron, so I don't
Oh.
see shit.
Gandalf for me. Gandalf for
Oh.
me, baby.
Oh.
And a 6.
I beat my
So-
target number by 2.
Oh, look at this roll, though. Look how devastating this is.
I have Sauron.
Oh, man.
Oh,
3 6.
man.
Satan's gambit.
Satan's roll.
Satan's roll.
Damn. Damn.
Damn you, Satan.
All right.
You better fiddle of gold against your soul.
So, listen.
Okay.
Charlotte.
So yeah, Tariel, she sees the spiders and immediately is just like locked in, trying to find where the Windlord is.
You hear the cry of a bird. And I'll remind everybody that most eagles in movies,
Correct.
that's
It's a
not the
red-tailed
sound
hawk.
they'd make.
Do
It's
I hear a
red-tailed
red-tailed hawk?
hawk. No. What you hear is in the loudest possible voice you can, as up in the air, a bipedal winged bird is circling above, yelling out orders.
Archers to the back, beasts of Gorgoroth to the front, crush them underfoot.
Is the bird wearing armor of any kind?
You wanna
Is the
see
bird
it?
wearing clothes? Yeah, I want to
Yes.
see him.
Oh yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah,
is
I
this
want to see
bird?
Show me the bad
Years.
bird.
Years of travel.
Finally.
Okay.
Bipedal Birdman? How big is it?
For those
Bird
listening
person.
on the
Just
podcast,
picturing Harvey Birdman.
there is Gwai
Oh.
here.
Oh.
And
Here we
let
go.
me
He looks pissed.
Yes, you can
Just
zoom out.
ensure-
Oh, it's us.
Oh, hey.
Oh, hello.
Hi.
Hey.
zoom is still up. Okay, got that. Got that. So I'm gonna
There
do
you
a
go.
slow pull out. As
Oh,
what
God.
you see before you is a significantly larger, taller,
Oh.
and much more
Is-
menacing in the wings.
I'm sorry, is
bipedal
Gwai
bird.
here kind of hot?
I was just about to ask.
Is
Yeah,
he?
man.
Is he?
Stay focused.
Is this wait?
he?
Is this Gwahir or is
Um,
this a different bird?
This is Gwai
How
here in the
big
wind.
is
tunnel.
Gwai
This
here?
is
Gwahir.
Gwahir.
Gwai
How many
here is-
birdmen could there be?
Well, I don't know. He might have recruited birdmen. I don't.
Is he holding a palantir?
He is holding a palantir.
Oh,
he
he
is
is.
also holding a kind of what you see to be whip that either is made out of something like bone or is made out of wood of some kind that seems to have a sort of red glow to the end of it that looks like fire.
No.
Good God. How are we talking about a man? Or are we talking about like a